Welcome back. All right, so 6 games in the National Hockey League tonight. If you cheered for a road team, well, you like this part of the review. These 4 teams, road teams, did pretty well. All right, so we're going to start things off looking at the New Jersey Devils and the New York Rangers, and this is usually a pretty good fight. Vanacek versus Shesterkin in this one. Early on, Panarin scores from Hedel and Miller at 1:20. It was a 2-on-1 rush. It was the first shot of the game for the Rangers, and they score. And then at 3:01, it's Zibanejad from Kreider and Trouba. So 3 minutes into the game, the Rangers are up 2-0. And I mean, Vanacek's had a really good run, but I mean, in the back of my mind, I was thinking, well, if the Devils lose this one, it's okay. They haven't had a bad game in a while. However, at 7:31, Tatar answers from Bratt and Heischer. It was a backhand top shelf on a rush. The shots are 8-6 then for the Devils with 8 minutes left. So they started taking over this game. The Devils press was 7.5 minutes left. Sharon Govich would score from Boquist at 13:25 on what was a good forecheck by Boquist, and Sharon Govich just turned around and buried it. The Rangers had a 2-on-1, then this broken up. The Rangers would get a power play. There's a near miss for Panarin. That was killed off. So we go to the second period. The score tied at 2. Early press by the Rangers. There's a near miss for Zibanejad. The Devils press at 3.5 minutes. Eventually, they get the lead. Hughes scores from Mercer at 5:44, and that was right after a huge save by Vanacek. Puck goes the other way. How often do we see that in games? We see that a lot. Rangers press for an answer, but at 9:40, McLeod scores from Wood and Zetterlund. So all of a sudden, the Devils have a big lead, and then they get a power play. The Rangers did come up with a big kill there, obviously understanding they can't allow another one. Then there's another power play for the Devils. Zibanejad without a stick, so it was a 5-on-3.5. Panarin then couldn't bury one in the final minute. There was too many men on the ice call. The Rangers would get a power play at 19:37, not long after making the kill. So that rolls over into the third period. The Devils finish the kill, and then they rush the other way. Trocheck was limping after a shot block, but the shots are 5-0 for the Rangers at 4.5 minutes. The Devils get a power play. That becomes a 4-on-4. The Rangers then have a rush. That draws them a power play. Lafreniere, Trouba are both denied as it comes to an end. Trouba then broke up a 2-on-1. The Rangers would go back to the power play, and they scored on it. It's Trocheck from Kreider and Fox at 13:18. So that makes it a 4-3 game. And the Rangers had a lot of opportunities in the third period. They would call a timeout with 2:04 left. They would pull the goaltender, and at 19:44 with the empty netter, it's Sharon Govich, Tatar with the assist. And so, yeah, your final score is 5-3. The New Jersey Devils are 19-4. They are first overall in the NHL. On the Rangers front, they are 10-9-4. It's a frustrating season for them. Yeah, there might need to be a video on the Rangers here. The shots 13-11 New Jersey in the first, 20-10 New Jersey in the second, 17-5 Rangers in the third. Final shots are 38-38. Power plays, New Jersey 0 for 3, Rangers 1 for 5. The hits 24-12 for the Rangers. Vanacek saved 35 out of 38. He recovered very well from a rough start. Shesterkin saved 33 out of 37. And again, part of what's happened with the Rangers is Shesterkin just isn't that wall that he was last year. It's been remarkable to see the difference. All right, next up, Tampa Bay and Buffalo. What did I say? Every Buffalo game is exciting, whether you're cheering for Buffalo or against Buffalo. And in this game, it was kind of a bit of both. They really know how to make the games fun to watch. Elliott versus Luukkonen in this one. Kucherov had a shot that was held. Perbix broke up a 2-on-1 for Buffalo. The Sabres get a power play. We then had 25 seconds of 4-on-4, meaning it becomes a power play for Tampa, and they score on it. It's a point from Kucherov and Hagel at 7:54. He buries that one on a net drive, like he's on a mission, as Point can do. The Bolts then press for another. The shots are 7-2, though, for the Sabres at 9 minutes. The Bolts get stuck on 2 shots for a while. There was a near miss for Quinn as the Sabres press, but then on Tampa Bay's fourth shot, they go up 2-0. It's Perry from Stamkos at 16:48. Buffalo answers. So this is the difference between Buffalo this year and in previous seasons. Thompson scores at 17:54. He buries that one in close. And then at 18:53, Quinn, who's been really picking it up lately, scores from Peterka and Power. That one's on a rush. He buries that one top shelf. It's 2-2 after one. Second period, Jost had a rush that's defended. Asplin's then denied. The shots are 2 apiece at 7 minutes, so more defensive start to that period. Sabres press at 7.5 minutes. Chernak had a rush chance that was held, and then Jost buries a rebound to put Buffalo in the lead. Scores from Okposo and Girgensons at 9:07. The Bolts try to answer. Cousins had a rush chance that was saved. Sergachev then had a blast that was saved. Bolts get a power play, and they scored on it. It was point on the power play from Kucherov and Sergachev at 16:26. It was a nice tic-tac-toe play there. The Sabres then pressed with a minute and a half left, but after 2 periods, the score's tied at 3. Third period, Hedman had a rush chance that was held. Cousins is denied as the Sabres press. The shots are 5-4 for Buffalo at 8 minutes, and again, they're holding their own. Net feed to Quinn, near miss there, and then Cousins absolutely fooled Elliott. He didn't think the puck was going that way. Dahlin and Samuelsson with the assist at 9:37. So Samuelsson with his first point this season. Sabres press for another. Eventually they get it at 14:19. It's Skinner with his 10th of the season from Thompson and Tuck. So that puts them ahead by a score of 5-3. Looks like they're home and cooled, but it's Tampa. 14 seconds later, Stamkos scores from Killorn and Sergachev, and they press for the tie. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. It became a 4-on-3 for Tampa Bay. During the 5-on-4 that followed, Kucherov scores from Sergachev and Stamkos at 17:58. With 1:37 left, the Bolts go back to the power play on a delay game call against Buffalo. Now, Buffalo did hold on and get this one to overtime. Bolts controlled early. The Sabres did finish the kill, though. Power is denied on a break out of the box. You've got to watch for those breaks out of the box. Skinner's denied. Elliott holds. And then on a rush opportunity, it's Stamkos from Paul at 2:44, bar down. And so Stamkos, with his second goal of the game, he's getting very close to 1,000 points. They win this one 6-5 in overtime. They go to 13-7-1, and for Buffalo, they're 9-12-1. It is the first point they've acquired after 60 minutes are done. The shots in this one: 14-4 Buffalo in the first, 10-8 Tampa in the second, 10 apiece in the third. In the overtime, Buffalo outshot Tampa Bay 5-1, but Tampa had the shot that matters. Final shots: 37-25 for Buffalo. The power plays: 3-for-4 for Tampa, 0-for-1 for Buffalo. The hits: 25-8 for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Elliott saves 32 out of 37. Luukkonen saves 19 out of 25. So the goaltending had some issues, and that always makes a game more exciting, right? So there's that. Plus, there's the fact that both of these teams play a very up-tempo style. They're very skilled teams, and it was fun to watch. All right, next up, Toronto and Detroit. So this, and I heard numerous times during this game, this is a big proving point for Detroit. Big proving point. They were the only team that wore the reverse retros tonight, so kudos to them. The red shorts make it odd, though, with the red socks and everything. It's a lot of red. I mean, it looks good close up, but from a distance? No, not from a San Jose distance. San Jose's camera, I swear. I saw a post last night saying it was that they film it from the Hubble telescope. I can't see any fault in that. I do think San Jose games are filmed from space. I've said it before. So Murray versus Husso in this one, in a game that's not filmed from space because it's in Detroit. Bertuzzi has a net feed that's missed, but then at 4:45, Seider scores from Larkin and Kubalik, and that was after a Kubalik rush was saved. The puck's behind Murray, and the Leafs were unable to clear it. Eventually, Seider gets the goal to make it 1-0 Detroit. Wings get a power play. That was killed off, and then it's Austin Matthews. He scores from Bunting and Hollowell. That's Hollowell's first NHL point at 8:24. The Leafs then get a power play, and they score on it at 9:14, so less than a minute later. It's Nylander from Sandin and Tavares. So all of a sudden, it's 2-1 for Toronto. He buried the rebound. That was only their third shot, and it was their second goal. Then there's a near miss for Yarncroke on a rush. Veleno is denied from in close. Bunting's denied from the slot, but it's 2-1 Toronto after one. Second period, 52 seconds in, Marner scores from Yarncroke and Giordano. So Giordano has been playing more than 20 minutes a game with all the injuries on the blue line. He's been playing quite well. Seider then had a shot that was saved. Murray holds as the Wings press. Kubalik's denied from the slot. The Wings press at 7 minutes, but on a screenshot from a good press by Toronto, they get another one. It's Sandin from Bunting and Matthews at 8:37. So that ended the night for Husso. Nedeljkovic goes in. Then there's too many Leafs on the ice, so the Wings get a power play. We ended up with 1 minute and 8 seconds of 4-on-4. Shortly thereafter, everything gets killed off. We go to the third period. The Wings had the early jump there. The Leafs would press at 5 minutes, or 4 minutes, I should say. The Wings get a power play. The Leafs did kill that off. Veleno has a shot that's held. The shots are 6-1 in favor of the Red Wings at 9 minutes. The Wings would press with 7.5 minutes left, and eventually Ernie tips one in from Seider and Sherratt at 12:41. The Wings had momentum, too, after that goal. They would pull the goaltender with more than 2 minutes left. but they're unable to generate a goal and get closer. Your final score is 4-2. The Toronto Maple Leafs now 14-5-5. For Detroit, 11-6-4. So again, this is a stretch of games for Detroit that will really show where their standing is in the East. The shots in this one, 10-5 Detroit in the first, 15-14 Detroit in the second, 19-6 Detroit in the third. Final shots, 44-25 for the Red Wings. Power plays, Toronto 1-2, Detroit 0-3. The hits, 25-18 for the Leafs. Murray saves 42 out of 44, continues what's been a remarkable run since coming back from injury. Husso saved 9 out of 13. Nedeljkovic saved all 12 shots he faced. So that'll even up their save percentages at least a little bit, right? But yeah, for Toronto, pretty strong win there tonight. We'll see what they can do with this from here. Next up, Vegas in against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Vegas continues to struggle. This game tonight again shows that Vegas is having its struggles. Now, they end up getting the 2 points. We'll see if that starts them on the right track again. So it's Thompson versus Tarasov in this one. Tarasov continues to impress. Early chances for Columbus. Johnson has a net feed that's blocked. Then there was a power play for Vegas. That was killed off. Vegas presses at 7 minutes. The Blue Jackets then get a power play. The shots are only 4-3 at the half in favor of Columbus. The power play ended up being killed off. Vegas presses with 5 minutes left. Eventually, on a rebound, Karlsson opens the scoring from Marchessault and McNabb. So Vegas is up 1-0 there. Will Karlsson with his 6th goal of the season. Vegas presses for another, and they get it. At 16:55, it's Will Carrier, who's off to a very good start to the season from White Cloud. He fired that one home from the slot. So it's 2-0 Vegas after one. Second period, early power play for Vegas. Marchessault's shot is blocked. Columbus kills that off. Fix Wolanski has a chance that's held in close. He had a pretty good game. Shots are 5-3 for Vegas at 5.5 minutes. There's a near miss, wide by Foudy, who again, I like Foudy. We'll see how many games he gets this year for Columbus. Carrier hits a post on a turnover. Jenner couldn't bury one in close. Columbus presses, and eventually they get a goal at 13:50. Johnny Gaudreau. He scores from Nyquist and Gavrikov, so that top line clicked tonight. Vegas presses with 4 minutes left. The Jackets get hemmed in, but Tarasov holds so they can get a line change. 1:44 left. Columbus gets a power play. That becomes a 4-on-4. Rolls over into the third period where there's 17 seconds left on the 4-on-4. Then Vegas gets the power play. Everything's killed off there. Puck hits Eichel in the face. They did check to see if it was a stick. I don't know why Eichel didn't just say, yeah, puck hit me in the face. They're obviously going to find out. So Roslovic couldn't bury a rebound. Carrier had a rush chance that's held. And then on a good press by Columbus, nice tic-tac-toe play, Jenner gets the goal from Nyquist and Gaudreau at 12:11. So Nyquist with a couple of helpers tonight. Jenner with a goal, Gaudreau with a goal and an assist, so that line worked pretty well. Vegas gets a power play at 16:56. Theodore's denied on a rush. There was a shorthanded rush then by the Jackets to finish the kill. We're going to overtime. The overtime, Vegas controls early. Columbus takes over. They get a change in as well to try to maintain some pressure. Chinakhov rags the puck around, but they couldn't get to the Vegas net. Then there's a post for Eichel before Columbus takes the puck back. Theodore has a shot that deflects out. We're going to the shootout. In round 7, it was Cotter. Scores a nice one and gets Vegas the win. Again, it took 7 rounds, but they got it. That puts Vegas to 17-6-1 with the 3-2 victory. Columbus drops to 7-12-2. I think there's a lot for Columbus to build on from here. The shots 9-7 Vegas in the first, 17-14 Vegas in the second, 9-6 Vegas in the third. In the overtime, both teams had 1 shot on net. Final shots 36-28 Vegas. Power plays, the Golden Knights 0-4, Columbus 0-2. Hits 16-14 Vegas. Thompson saves 26 out of 28. Tarasov saved 34-36. He was excellent. He's a big reason that Columbus gets a point tonight. And now, I need to change boards. And now, basically what we've revealed is that only one home team won tonight. And it looked like they might not for a while there too. But we're doing the Dallas-St. Louis game first, as Dallas continues to be a team that I get nervous about. And I got nervous before the game started. Ottinger out with illness. Hopefully he gets better quickly here. That put Wedgwood in against Binnington. The good news is Wedgwood's very good on short notice. He's a goaltender that can go in middle of the game. He can go in with no notice or very short notice and plays pretty well. Neighbors has a rush chance that's held. There was a press by the Blues at 3.5 minutes. And the shots are 3-2 in favor of the Stars at 7 minutes. Blues press again at 8 minutes. So they're not getting very much on net. They're getting the zone time, though. Stars then get some zone time, but they're kept to the outside as well. Kiviranta has a rush chance. That was blocked out. Buchnevich was then absolutely robbed by Wedgwood, who had a great game. Parayko then had a screenshot that was held onto. Last minute press by the Stars, but we're scoreless after one. Second period, Hakanpää fires one high. Gurianov had a net feed, near miss on that. Blues pressed at 3.5 minutes. Kyrou had a wraparound chance that was blocked by Dallas defense. And then Johnston, who continues a pretty quietly remarkable rookie season. He scores from Bennett 351. It's one of those ones where he's not going to get a lot of Calder buzz, I don't think, but Wyatt Johnston's a pretty good player. So the Stars then pressed for another. Kyrou was then denied twice on net drive. We get a fight between Hanley and Walker. I didn't see that one coming. Blues get a power play. Pretty aggressive penalty kill by the Dallas Stars. Sagan would eventually clear it out, kill it off. One shot by St. Louis. Stars then get a power play. That was killed off. Dallas had one shot on their power play as well. So we go to the third period with the score 1-0 Dallas. Not a lot of insurance there, right? The Stars press at 2.5 minutes. Heiskanen fires one wide. They get more pressure after that. Tarasenko then had a rush chance that was saved. The Blues followed that up with a good press of their own, but the shots on net are only one apiece at 6 minutes. So both teams doing a good job of blocking out, getting sticks in lanes, and just shot blocking. But then we have the Stars pressing, and eventually they get one. It's a cross-ice pass that's tipped in by Dellandrea. Johnston and Benn with the assists at 7:57. So Johnston with an assist to go with his goal. Stars press for another. Buchnevich has a rush chance that's defended, and eventually Saad would get St. Louis on the board from Levo at 13:17. That brought the fans to their feet. I like to see Levo on the board. Levo's play had dropped off. It's picked up again. And so he tipped that one high during a brief press. It was very advantageous by St. Louis there, where they didn't have a whole lot going on before that. Marchment fanned on one. The Blues would rush, but on a fast break from a turnover, Jason Robertson continues his league best goal scoring pace at 15:54. I think that's his 19th. He's got a lot of goals. Blues try to answer. They pull the goaltender, and then pretty quickly after, Bennington left the net at 17:25. Heiskanen from the other end just puts it in. And so Dallas wins this one 4-1. They go to 13-6-4. St. Louis is 11-11, so 500 record for them. Shots 11-9 St. Louis in the first, 8 apiece in the second, 7-5 Dallas in the third. They did a good job of shutting down St. Louis. Outside of the Saad goal, there really wasn't much for them. Final shots are 24-24. Both teams were 0 for 1 on the power play. Hits were 22-15 St. Louis. Wedgwood, 23 saves on 24 shots. Bennington, 20 saves on 23 shots. Like I said, this is a rivalry that's been pretty bloodless, and tonight's a good example. There was a fight, yes, but both teams only had one power play. So it wasn't really this really intense, and usually games between St. Louis and Dallas aren't really intense, nail-biters, other than the fact that they're usually close. Tonight it wasn't as close in the end, but they're usually close. All right, Florida. Florida goes in against Edmonton tonight. Florida's a team that's got some issues here. Absolutely got some issues. Knight versus Skinner, but at 3:49, Tkachuk scores from Cousins and Bennett, and he put his hand to his ear because, of course, Matthew Tkachuk, formerly of Calgary, knows how popular he is. I don't know if he's going to regret that after, because they don't get the result they want. The Oilers try to answer. The shots are 3-2 in favor of the home team, 7 minutes in. The Oilers had momentum, but they needed a goal. The shots then even up at the half as Florida gets a couple opportunities. Verhaeghe had a rush chance that was saved. Barry has a blast that's saved on a face-off win. The Oilers get a power play. They then have a minute of 5-on-3. It was their first 5-on-3 of the season as well. Knight denies McDavid. The Panthers clear it out. Nurse then had a shot that was saved as the power play comes to an end. 5-on-3, no damage done. Panthers then get a power play. That was killed off, and we're going to the second period. Panthers press at a minute and a half. They would end up getting a power play. Near miss for Reinhart. That was killed off. Hyman scores on a rebound at the other end, but it was kicked in, and Hyman knew that goal was coming off. You could see him nodding like, he knew. So no real fight from him when it was taken off the board. Reinhart then had a rush chance that was saved. Things get pushy after a hold by Knight. And really a very good game for Spencer Knight. The Oilers had the edge at that point in the game, but they were down. Puljujarvi was denied and close. The Oilers came out with a power play from that. And McDavid would score from Nugent Hopkins and Hyman at 10:35. So that ties up the game. And it was a breakaway goal by McDavid after what had been a pretty good start to the penalty kill for Florida. The Oilers then pressed for more. There was a 3-on-1 by the Oilers, but that was defended. Doesn't get anywhere. Ekblad then has a shot that's saved. The Oilers clear it out. The Panthers press with 4.5 minutes left. And to close out the period, the Oilers had some pressure of their own. We're tied at 1 going to the third. McDavid was denied twice. The Oilers would press early in that third period. Oilers had some momentum seeking the lead, and they get it. Barrie on a nice, fancy little bounce off Hyman. Kulak with the assist as well at 5:18, so it bounces cross crease, and Barrie goes, fine, I'll just put it in the net. Buries it. Shots are 6-1 for the Oilers at 8.5 minutes. Ceci fires one wide on a rush, but then on only their third shot of the period, Lundell, he brings the game back to even from Reinhardt and Lusterinen at 10:58. The Oilers had 7 shots to that stage as well. The Oilers press, they draw a power play. Bouchard's denied and close. The Oilers a crossbar away from the lead. It was Nurse that had the shot there. That's killed off. 5:22 left. The Panthers get a power play. The Panthers score. It's challenged for a high stick. It is decided that it was not a high stick that contacted the puck. Now, did he contact it above the crossbar? Maybe, but that's not the puck that went in, so you can't blow it dead for a puck being contacted above the crossbar. Montour gets the goal from Ekblad and Tkachuk at 15:16. So, if Tkachuk had deflected that into the net, it probably wouldn't have counted, but that's not how it worked out. So the Panthers go back to the power play as a result of that. But then a goofy penalty on them. Too many men on the ice. Forsling comes on the ice as the 6th guy, and you could see him get out there, and then, oh crap, kind of like getting over the board, but it's too late. They were already making the call. So that makes it 4-on-4, and then the Oilers get the power play after that. Goalie pull with 1:45 left towards the end of that power play. The Oilers call a timeout as well. Knight denies Puljujarvi, but then in 19:55, a little under 5 seconds left in the game, Bouchard scores from McDavid and Draisaitl. They tie the game. So Florida not able to close this one out either. Same issue they had against St. Louis. And then in overtime, the Oilers control early, and Draisaitl would score as a 2-on-1 break. McDavid and Nurse with the assists at 22 seconds. It's the only shot of overtime. It's one that matters. And the Oilers win 4-3. Nice comeback victory. They go to 12-10 on the season. Florida drops to 10-8-4 on the season. Shots in this one, 14-10 Edmonton in the first, 11-9 Edmonton in the second, 14-9 Edmonton in the third. And like I said, they had the only shot in overtime. Final shots 40-28 for the Edmonton Oilers. Florida's in trouble. The power plays 1-for-4 for Florida, 1-for-5 for Edmonton. Hits 26-17 for Florida. Knight saved 36 out of 40. He played well. It's not on him. Skinner, 25 saves on 28 shots. And I can't put my finger on exactly what it is, but it's not the same Florida Panthers. Their record is not anywhere near where it was last year, and they can't afford to keep losing points like this. That being said, we're done for tonight. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.